Hello, sacred souls. It's Susanna from Alamanic Shaman. What I have here for us tonight is a blessing for our gardens. I mentioned it in a previous video that even though I don't have a personal garden where I live, I started a little guerrilla garden, a secret garden basically, behind the railroad, behind the train tracks that run through the city. And there's a green stretch, and there's one area that is really nicely hidden away. And I already planted some stuff there, and I was gonna film there earlier for the blessing, for, letting everything grow in abundance. And I actually found this candle there that somebody had previously used, and it didn't really burn down. And you can see where the layer of wax was. And I started, I lit it the moment I got home, pretty much. So you can see it already started burning down a little bit more, because in the meantime, I felt very inspired to try to start growing a few things already at home before planting them there. I did get some catnip from the store that I planted already, and then I knew another spot where peppermint was growing wild, so I dug out a little bit there and just brought it to this little secret garden. And I got some potatoes. I actually bought organic potatoes that started sprouting, so I planted those. And I also got some small little onions. Actually, those ones were free too in a community pantry, and they started growing a little bit, so I planted those. So we're gonna see how it goes. But those I planted a few days ago. And see, funny enough, my voice goes funny again now. And the greens are already starting to come out a little bit. So I felt inspired to get a few things started before I have a chance to get more soil, because the area where I'm growing it is where a building was demolished, and there's just like all this construction debris, and I won't be able to properly clean everything up, because it would be an insane task, insanely labor intensive. And there's broken glass and everything. There's pieces of brick and other stuff thrown there and whatnot. So I moved some of the really big stuff, but I found some wooden boards that I kind of put down as a base, and then I put soil on top of that. So kind of like a raised garden bed. And I'm trying to expand that, but I need to pick up more soil, right? So it might take me another week or two. So hopefully it won't go too much into spring by the time I can plant some of the other stuff. But I thought I'm going to start growing the strawberries at home. Hopefully they will start growing a little bit, sprouting, and then I can transplant them. And I put some fennel in there and some sunflower seeds over there. And I have a bunch more seeds that I bought. But in here, both, right? These from the dollar store and these from Canadian Tire, which were more expensive, but they were a little bit fancier and stuff that seems really good for really cold conditions. So whereas the dollar store ones were cheaper but more generic. So I'm gonna see how all that goes, but I'm very excited about this. So I feel like so many of us are finding different ways to get more in touch with Mother Nature, even if we have limited means. And that could be financially speaking, as well as being restricted location-wise, not necessarily being able to get out of the city, for example. and so on, right? But we can find green spaces within the city. And there are also some community gardens, but I chose to go a different route because I found the perfect little hidden away area, right? So anyhow, let's get started with the blessing for our gardening and nature in general, that everything shall grow abundantly, especially food that we can eat and like medicinal herbs and stuff like that, right? Or also herbs for cooking, all of that kind of stuff. And also for everyone who does wildcrafting, that everything that you try to harvest in nature, right? That everything that you're looking for or hoping for or wishing for will grow abundantly. All right. Yeah, so there's definitely still stuff going on with the voice, with the throat chakra, but I think we've noticed that over the last few weeks there have been a few things going on. Oops, I almost burned my fingers there. So every so often we keep being tested, right? And then there's another little round of healing for the throat chakra, for us speaking our voice and our truth. But that's okay, bit by bit. We don't have to get stressed about it. We don't have to like put pressure on ourselves. It's all coming in divine timing. All right, so please cleanse, clear, and renew all of our energies and take away anything dark, evil, low vibrational, and unhealed, and transmute it into pure divine essence and return it to the universe for reintegration, and help us be fully and completely reconnected to our own inner divinity as well as that around us, and through that be in oneness with all of creation again. Thank you, Dankeschön, all my relations. All right, let's call in our divine team. Dear divine, oops, sorry, I want to clean off the ashes a little bit here. Dear divine higher power of the universe, our higher selves, our higher spirit guides of the light, our ancestors that are in the light, dear Mother Earth, powers of all four directions, powers of the east, powers of the south, powers of the west, powers of the north, powers of all four elements, air, earth, fire, and water, and all other benevolent powers, forces, spirits, and beings of the universe that are of the light. Please join the ceremony and assist the healings, prayers, and protection with all of your powers. Thank you. Please close the circle of protection around us. Thank you. First, I want to give thanks to Mother Earth for all the food that grows on your surface. Well, also like a little bit in the soil, but still it's the surface of Mother Earth, right? Thank you for your fertility, for the abundance of food that you provide us with worldwide. Thank you for your patience with humanity in learning to reconnect with you more again. What just came to mind was how in Chad, a lot of the refugees that were displaced and ended up immigrating to, or like applying for refugee status in Chad, they found a way to transform desert land back into fertile land, right? So even though humanity has destroyed large areas, a lot of it is reversible. So thank you for helping us, through the process. Thank you for teaching us humans how to help you heal as well, and for helping us heal ourselves by reconnecting with you, by being in harmony with nature and everything around us again. Thank you for the increase in people's awareness to be more environmentally friendly, for starting all sorts of different projects to reconnect and be natural again. And also for having new technologies such as solar power, and wind power we've had for a long time, but there are also modern ways of doing that, right, with wind turbines. But having renewable energy sources that are not harmful as past energy sources were, such as nuclear power, right? Or even power plants that used to burn charcoal, but if large amounts were used, then that would also pollute, right? So thank you, dear Mother Earth, for the abundance. Let this be a special healing and prayer ceremony. So here comes the twist that I didn't realize before. Let this be a healing ceremony for Mother Earth, and let all gardening and farming that we do, especially that we do naturally without using chemicals, let all those plants grow abundantly and be healthy and strong and help us heal and recover in the process as well, and become strong again in body, mind, spirit, soul, energy field, emotionally, karmically, and in all aspects. And with that, the same shall happen for Mother Earth, to heal in all of her aspects, and to let our entire planet be on a massive healing journey and a return to natural ways of doing things in all aspects. And so it is. Thank you, Dankeschön, all my relations. And let more and more people start community gardens and guerrilla gardens and food forests, permaculture everywhere, so that everyone has access to free food, that we get away from this capitalistic way of thinking where people needed to have a certain amount of money, a certain amount of income to be able to have good quality food, organic food, natural food, which is really how things used to be for everyone, but it has become a luxury. And let us return to that normalcy, that natural, organic food, free from chemicals, non-GMO, completely as it was intended, as it grew. It has grown on Mother Nature for millennia and millennia. Let a strong return to that. Return, come back. Let us return to it. That was kind of like double. And let everyone in all areas, in the poorest neighborhoods, everywhere where people are not able to spend a lot of money on good quality food, let them all have access to free, good quality, natural food. And so it is. Thank you. Dankeschön. All my relations, all our relations. All right, let the ceremony now be finished. Please accept our love, thanks, gratitude, and blessings, and open the circle of protection around us, but keep us strongly safe, shielded, and protected by a massive, divine, golden shield of golden light, and seal our energy field to keep us completely 100% safe, shielded, and protected at all times. And so it is. Thank you. Dankeschön. All my relations, all our relations. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for watching, for being a part of this ceremony, and for being on your own healing and ascension journey. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, share, and subscribe. And I'm also sending you tons of love, light, and blessings. Be well until next time. And I wish you great abundance. May truth and integrity always be with you. Bye.